This is an interesting question. How much weight can you expect to lose in a cycle? Been able to lose weight without BodySlims? What does an average week look like when you're doing the program? That I'm going to chat about, and there's so many questions about this kind of thing, and it's what are the calories? Am I going to be hungry? Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Carla and I make videos about how I show up for myself in hopes of inspiring you to do the same. Over the last number of years, I have started to show up for myself and therefore actually managed to transform my entire life, losing over half my body weight, overhauling my mental health, changing career, and basically living the best life that I possibly can. In today's video, I'm going to be answering your questions about the program that helped me to lose 183 pounds, and that program is called BodySlims. I'm going to leave a link up here to my full video about BodySlims. Just for disclosure purposes, I am an official brand ambassador for BodySlims. However, they did not ask me to create this video and were not paying me to make this video. The reason I'm making it is because I have so many DMs from you guys asking me questions, and a lot of them are repeat questions. So I thought I would put this all into one video. I'll leave a link to BodySlims down in the description box down below if you guys want to check it out and get some more information. But guys, without further ado, let's get into it and let's answer some of your questions. A lot of them are very similar, so I'm not going to answer every single one specifically, but I'll get into them as much as I can. So I would like to get information about the first 2 weeks. Is it like a detox? No, it's definitely not a detox in terms of your traditional detoxing, drink teas and all that kind of malarkey. Basically with BodySlims, you're given a calorie allowance, you are asked to walk 1 hour every single day, and then the beauty of BodySlims lies in the seminars which come out every Wednesday. They are not live, they are pre-recorded, and they are re-recorded for every single cycle. Jared does every single one of them again, and you watch that seminar with all your attention and intention, and that is where the beauty of BodySlims lies. It's helping to dismantle the myths and the crap basically that we think about weight loss, and demystifying it and making it simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. So that is what you have to do for the 10 weeks that you're on BodySlims, is watch the weekly seminar, walk, and stick to your calorie allowance. So while it might seem like a detox because you will most likely be reducing the amount of food that you are eating, most likely. About 99.9% of people will be, unless they're in maintenance, of course. But yes, it might seem like a detox, but it is not a detox. What happens when the 10 weeks finishes? Does another start straight away? Also, when not on BodySlims, how can we keep the weight off without Jer in our ears? There are 3 cycles of BodySlims every year: January, April, September. In between those, I personally decided to keep going until I reached my goal weight. That was my personal choice. And how can you keep going without Jer in your ears? I think the purpose of BodySlims is that it's not about having Jer in your ears. So Jer is the founder and the head coach of BodySlims. It's not about grasping onto Jer and what he's saying. It's about allowing that information to sink in. That's why I always say, if you've heard me before, you'll say you have to watch those seminars with your full attention and intention, because if you don't, that information doesn't sink in, and it's not something then you learn to live by. It helps you to create your own maintenance, is what BodySlims helps you to do. It helps you to create new habits. So when Jer is gone and the cycles are finished, you are able to continue on whether you need to or whether you want to stay in maintenance. You have dismantled the habits that led you to being overweight in the first place. That's what I did. BodySlims helped me to dismantle the behaviors and the habits that led me to being overweight, and help me to install new habits, such as my walk, such as drinking more water, such as kindly questioning whether I actually need to eat something or whether it's just habitual. And by creating those habits and changing my behavior, that helped me to live my life now in maintenance for over a year at nearly exactly the same weight that I was when I got to go. You practice the abundance principle and BodySlims. What is it and how do you do that? I'm a former binge eater and food addict. And if you had shown me a small amount of steak and some broccoli and told me that that's what I had to eat to lose weight, I would have told you that that was not enough food. That would have been, my inner child would have been like, no, sorry, this is not going to be enough food for me. I need to eat more than that. And so what I did throughout BodySlims and still continue to do, and because I am vegan or plant-based, the foods that I tend to eat are less calorie dense. For example, if I was to eat a block of butter that was this size, it would be a stupid amount of calories. But eating something like I could have, I don't know, a sweet potato that's the same size, that will be a lot less calories. Now, obviously, nobody's going to go and eat a block of butter this size straight out of the bat. But it's just to give you an idea that the foods that I was eating tended to be less calorie dense. And therefore, I was able to eat more of them and satisfy that inner feeling of being deprived instead of seeing smaller portions and freaking out that the portions were smaller. The beauty of BodySlims is that you can basically eat whatever you desire to eat so long as it's within the calorie limit that they give you. They give you suggestions on what not to eat, which will bring you closer to your goal, maybe faster than if you ate other things. For me, the abundance principle fit in really well then, because I was able to eat huge portions of amazing food that were less calorie dense, helping me to, first of all, get really good nutrients, make sure that I'm getting an abundance of different types of nutrients, getting all my macronutrients, getting everything into my portions, but also satisfying that inner child, that feeling of being deprived, that feeling that I had on every diet before, that feeling of, oh, but I can't have that. I think there is a worry with BodySlims that it is a little bit more freeing and not as restrictive, but I also believe that that is why it lends itself to maintenance, is because you have to find what suits you. And that suited me, working in that abundance, eating larger portions until sometimes I don't need that anymore. It's not something, I don't have an emotional attachment to food as much as I did before. Still probably always be underlying, but it's not as severe as it was when I first started to lose weight. And so that's how the abundance principle really lends itself for me and for any of those people who are more worried about feeling deprived. Is intermittent fasting possible with a program, or is eating certain time a must? Absolutely. I intermittent fasted the entire way through BodySlims, and no, you do not need to eat at certain times. A lot of questions were asking me, what is the second time round like, and is it different? When you do your second round of BodySlims, you get access to exercises. So you can do, basically, it's one exercise that you add on per week, but it's only suggested to do that if you are very close. I think it's within a stone of your Dare to Dream goal weight. You get access to Sway Stretching with Sharon. You get a weekly team talk from Jared, which is a chat about that particular week, specific to those people who are repeating or coming back to do the second or third round. And it helps to challenge maybe some misconceptions or preconceptions that we might have about BodySlims, specifically that we think we know it all and therefore we don't need to listen to the seminars. And that will be week one of my basically I do a weekly chat as well with you guys. So I do one for people who are brand new, and then I do a different one for people who are on their second, third or fourth, or people who are coming back basically. And the first thing that I will say is that I challenge everybody who is on the second round to treat it as if it's their first round. Don't let hubris and arrogance get in the way of achieving what you need to do to get to your goal. Because I allowed the hubris and arrogance. I was like, I know this. I don't need to, watch this in full whack. And I didn't get the results that I wanted for the first few weeks. And I had to check in with myself. I had to re-watch the seminar, watch the seminar, make sure I was doing it properly, really listening with full attention and intention, not having my phone on, not doing other things while doing it. and the information sank in a lot better. I will say to you that while, yes, the core seminars are the same, they're re-recorded, so there might be some like little tidbits, but you are different. You are different the more you do the program, the further you get towards your Dare to Dream goal. And even in maintenance, people are different. We are different. Things are happening in our environments, in like our social circles, at home, with work, in ourselves. We are discovering ourselves and getting to know ourselves at all times. And what you might hear on the first one, you know, something might really resonated with you on week 2 of the first, when you did it first, and then week 2 you won't hit that much. But something that you heard week 3 didn't hit that much in the first round, but it will like smack you over the face. On my 5th round, which was my postnatal weight loss, the first week hit me like a ton of bricks. And I've seen this. I'd seen this at this time. This was my 5th time to see this program, these seminars. So you never know what tidbit of information is going to be the thing that just sinks in and goes, wow, okay, that changed something. And that changed something in me, even though I had already been at my goal weight and I'd had a baby, because I had changed so much. I had done so much work. I had evolved, and something just resonated so much more with me on that round. Is it for men also? Absolutely, it's open to everybody who wants to participate, so long as they are over 18. Did you tell people when you started BodySlims and why? I haven't told people yet, as it feels something I'm serious about and feels quite scared to me, at least for now. What would you do? I did not tell anybody until it was so obvious that I had lost weight. I did not want I didn't want the naysayers. I didn't want people telling me that this is, you know, bullcrap, or that I shouldn't be doing this, or this is the way it should be done, or etc., etc., etc. I didn't need anybody else's opinion. I wanted to ensure that I was very firm in my resolve of what I was doing and had the evidence to show that what I was doing was working before I started to communicate about it with people. I didn't tell anybody that I was on BodySlims until I was 5 stone down. So what's 70 something pounds down? And it was obvious that I had done something. Like, it was so obvious. The only people I told were Vincent, my partner, my sister Adriana, because she was going to BodySlims with me. This is when it was back in the rooms. And then 2 people from work, nobody else. And I didn't share on social media, and nobody has to share on social media. This is just my personal choice, but I didn't share anything on social media until I think I was 4 months into my weight loss before I started to communicate about it. And most people didn't find me until I was 5 months, 6 months into it, people I knew. So I kept it to myself. And I think we don't have to share with other people. And I think it really helps to quieten out the noise of everybody else and people will, because I, at 23 stone, was the biggest weight loss expert that there is. And even when my sister told me months into her doing BodySlims, she lost weight with BodySlims and kept it a secret until it was so obvious. Even when she told me, I was like, this is a load of crap. Like, this is obviously some kind of fad diet. This is ridiculous. She's going to end up putting it back on again. You know, and obviously it wasn't, because it worked for her and she's been living her life in maintenance for the last 4 years. So, you know, it's better to keep, because I would have been like, nah, in her ear. Worried about the hour walk. I get so bored after 30 to 40 minutes, even listening to a podcast and book. Oh, I feel you. I was exactly the same. I used to hate walking so much that I was like, I don't want to do this. You know, this is not something that I'm interested in. And one thing that Jared says on BodySlims that's really resonated with me and challenged me is that you liking it is optional. And that is something that I think helped me to just do it. I just had to do it. I just learned that I had to do it, and I did it. And I actually now love my hour walk. I absolutely love my hour walk. It is my time to myself. I am sorry when it's coming to an end. And this is from somebody who hated walking, like would park nearly park in the handicapped spots. I used to park in the like mother and baby ones because they were closer to wherever we were going so that I wouldn't have to walk far. I hated walking. So I get you and I understand, but yeah, it's like you will, in podcast, books, try listening to music, and you do for the first 15 minutes, Jared gives you things that you do. So it kind of cuts out like a quarter of it. And then you've got the 40 minutes left to enjoy podcast or even listen to some music or nothing. There's a couple of times where I haven't even turned on music. I've just gone for it and enjoyed myself and enjoyed the walk and allowed my imagination to run free. Allowed myself, and I was listening to a podcast today about the beauty of a long walk. It helps to, it's so important for your mental health. It's valuable for your mental health. It ends up helping you to work out things that are happening in your life, and that is so true for me. That has really changed for me, is that it helps me to figure out things, and that things that might seem really overwhelming might not actually be after a walk. What did I find the hardest challenge when I started BodySlims? Ooh, that seems like so long ago now. The hardest challenge was not being prepared. That old saying, fail to prepare, prepare to fail, is so true for me. The first weekend was the hardest because that was the time when I always would have gotten a takeaway. I would have started my binging or my overeating for the weekend. I was always, good up until Thursday, Friday night, and then I would just undo everything with takeaways and, eating crap the whole time. And I loved Chinese. Chinese was like my big thing. And I found the first weekend really hard because I didn't plan what to do on my first weekend. And I understand now how important that is to plan ahead of time. So that was kind of my biggest challenge, was to understand like, okay, so I needed a meal plan for the weekend. I needed to ensure that I was okay, that I was going to be okay for that weekend. And walking was also one of the biggest challenges for me. I have a whole thing here about, like, I'll leave a link up here about walking and why I thought that I would be able to do it as fast as possible, and I ended up injuring myself quite badly, and I had to stop and reset and start from start again. And the humility that I had to have and the vulnerability to allow myself to not be good at something, and I was not good at walking, and to learn how to be good at it. And yes, there is a method to walking that can really make a difference for you, but I would have to say that the walking was the biggest, probably the walking and not being prepared on the first weekend were the biggest challenges for me, and learning to walk and to stretch and to walk properly and to get over myself enough to walk as well. This is an interesting question. How much weight can you expect to lose in a cycle? I think it's important here that we focus on the fact that we cannot control how much we are going to lose. If you are a 23 stone woman like I am, your results are going to be very different. You're going to be very different results to a woman who is 12 stone, who is 5 foot. Everybody is going to be different, so you cannot control the output of how much you are going to lose. Typically, women lose between 2 to 3 stone, which is 28 to 42 pounds on their first cycle of BodySlims. But if you do not achieve that, it does not mean that you failed BodySlims. It's in perspective to how much you have to lose. It's in relation to your mass. It's in relation to how well you do the program. It's in relation to age, to all these stress, to sleep, to everything. There's so many different contributing factors that can have an impact on it. So to say, that you're going to lose 2 stone, I can't say that. The one thing that I can say is what you can control is your inputs. So you can control how much you're walking, how much water you're drinking, how much sleep you're getting, and how many calories you're consuming, and what type of calories you're consuming. You could, in theory, eat 3 chocolate bars and, be within your calorie allowance, but you're not going to be nourished. You're going to spike your blood sugar. So eating, from more nutrient dense foods is going to be more beneficial to you. So I can't say how much you're going to lose, but that is the typical, but please don't focus on the typical. You focus on yourself and focus on what you can control, not what anybody else is doing. That's something I want to say to everybody, is that please do not compare yourself to anybody else's results, because it is only going to do you harm. The only thing you can do is focus on yourself and your inputs into your weight loss. Hi Carla, I've booked BodySlims, but I did it before, lost 1.5 stone, but put it all back on since. Worried about that. I would ask yourself, what do you think, what was it that made you put the weight back on again? I think that there is a misconception that you just do BodySlims by counting the calories and walking. But I would challenge or question yourself kindly. Did you watch the seminars? Did you allow that information to sink in? Did you do everything that you could to really grasp the concept of BodySlims and the concept of the behaviors and the actionable change? And if so, sometimes things happen. But for going back now to do it again, it's important that you watch it with your full attention as if it's your first time. Please don't, gloss over it because you've done it before. Please ensure that you allow it to sink in and allow that to be a behavioral change in your life for good. Because that's what getting into maintenance is allowing that behavior to change. It's not about calories. It's about the behavioral change. What does it involve? Is it like an intermittent fasting concept? No, it's not. BodySlims is just those 3 areas. It is the weekly seminars, counting calories, and walking 1 hour every single day. I'll leave that full video. It'll be linked down below to like a more in-depth look at what BodySlims is. If you can't manage the walk due to darkness, living in the country, etc., can you use the cross trainer? I think the layers go, walking outside is best because you're out in nature, it feels better. Walking on a treadmill is next to you, so you absolutely can walk on a treadmill, especially for safety, etc., times of day, whenever you need to do. And I think the stationary bike and then the cross trainer. But I would just double check with the BodySlims team. It's harder to do the cross trainer, I think, for the extended period of time. Stationary bike, I think, is better, but I'm not 100% sure. Can you do Pilates in addition to walking, or should you just stick to your walking? Just stick to your walking for the 10 weeks. Jared asked for no additional exercise, and then you can do your Pilates afterwards as part of your maintenance. Can you walk on the treadmill for 1 hour? Yes, you can. Do you recommend any pre-preparation for BodySlims? Yes. I would recommend that you get your kitchen scales, your bathroom scales sorted so that you have those ready to go, and measuring cups, measuring jugs. It's always better to weigh food than use measuring cups, but some of the cups have milliliters on them. That's what I use to measure out my milk. You can also get your runners or trainers, tennis shoes, whatever you call them, that you are going to walk in. Map out your route, whatever your route is going to be, that you're going to do that in the hour, and then you can add on to that as you achieve that route within the hour. Read all the testimonials on the BodySlims website and on their Facebook and Instagram, so that you are realizing that this is possible, that this is true, and that everybody who is on that website and everybody who shared their stories are just normal people. I am just a normal person. I am just a regular Joe Soap. I just did the things that I needed to do to get me to that point, to get me to lose weight, to get me to achieving my Dare to Dream goal. I am just a regular person living in my terraced house in North Dublin with my son and my 2 cats and my partner. You will even talk about it during the programme about extraordinary people. It's just ordinary people who do the extras. Let's start to make sure that you know how to count calories is important. So checking the backs of labels of things, checking how, there are tons of videos on YouTube about how to count calories, how to weigh out. If you're making a meal for something, you add all the calories in, all the components of the recipe, and then you can weigh it. And it does sound, at the start, it can be a little bit tricky, but you get used to it really, really quickly. And also just have fun, get excited, enjoy it, because it's great crack. That's the weird thing about BodySlims. It's actually really good fun. It's the one thing, like the one weight loss program that I know that people actually really look forward to. If we signed up a couple of weeks, can we log into the website to find our feet before we start? I think most people get access the weekend before it starts, and so you can get an idea of how to navigate it. And there will be videos that'll be up on like the background of BodySlims and all the different components, and I have a welcome video there as well. So are the calories lower for the first 2 weeks? No. I spend more calories on my snacks and tea than on my breakfast, lunch and dinner. Is it better to spend most calories on breakfast, lunch and dinner? I personally, in my experience, found that it is. I used to be a very big snacker, and that when I actually ate more during my meals, so splitting out my main meals to have more and leaving a little bit for calories, I found that I wasn't as hungry and I stopped reaching for snacks. And the thing is, why are we reaching for snacks? What is it that if we're hungry, that's fair enough. But are we reaching out for boredom because we're feeling a bit sad, because we're feeling a bit lonely? What is it that we are reaching a snack for? If you're consuming nourishing, nutritious, same word, good food, delicious food, I hate the word good, but delicious food that is nourishing your body and feeding you full of all your different macronutrients, is that helping you? That is more satisfying. So what is it that you're looking for with a bar of chocolate, etc.? And I ate chocolate the whole way through, but I didn't sacrifice my main meal to eat chocolate. I'm not a great cook. Are there easy recipes, please? Loads and loads of people are asking me about recipes. Yes, you do get easy recipes. They come in. There's a Monday Munchies and Foodie Fridays. They come into your inbox. There's also BodySlims recipe books, I think, that you can sign up for on the website. But I would honestly say, don't overthink it. Don't get so bogged down in recipes. Think more simple, easy, quick. Because I want things that are fast. That's like, I ate a lot of vegan protein, tofu, tempeh, ready-made vegan, whatever, sausages or things like that, with veg, tons and tons of veg, green beans, zucchini, broccoli, season things. That's where your biggest thing was going to come from, is seasoning your foods and some kind of carbohydrate. Potatoes, new potatoes, the strong roots cauliflower hash browns. What else did I eat? Polenta. What are they called? Boxty, cut up, put in the air fryer. Delicious. That kind of thing. So if you eat meat, like chicken, season your chicken with paprika, salt and pepper, some Italian herbs, stick it into a thing of tin foil, stick in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. It's pretty good. My mum eats that nearly every single night. So I see her doing that when she's with us. Don't overcomplicate it. Green beans on the pan with a little bit of spray oil. Put the green beans on after you've washed them. Then they have a little bit of moisture, so they kind of steam while they're cooking on the pan. Add in some salt and pepper. Add in some Italian seasoning. Add in some other seasonings that you have. Just check that they don't have tons of sugar in them. Put a little bit of lemon juice on them. Some garlic, frozen garlic. That is one of my big secrets. Or frozen ginger, or frozen chilies, or frozen coriander, or parsley, or something like that. Season it. Look for ways to make the food really tasty and enjoyable, but at a lower calorific amount. That's what I basically did, is I tried to always find ways to make it enjoyable, because I didn't want to eat bland, like boiled chicken. I don't eat chicken anyway, but I didn't want to eat the rice and chicken and broccoli. I wanted things to be really full of flavor. And I have on my Instagram, if you look at my highlights, I have like examples of meals that I ate the whole way through. Do you have to do the hour walk in one go? Yes, you do. And there's a reason for it, and he will explain it. For maintenance, do you ever stop thinking about food? Yeah, I do. Like, food is a part of living. It's a part of my life, and I enjoy food, and I enjoy going out for a meal. I enjoy eating, but it's not my everything. It's not like the hold that food has on me now is quite minimal in comparison to who I was 4 years ago. What do you eat? Is there a diet sheet? You can eat on BodySlims basically whatever you want to eat. The second week seminar is all about the foods that will help you to get to your goal faster, the ones that he recommends not eating. But if you want to eat those, that's your choice, that's your decision. You can basically eat almost whatever you want. There is a 3 for 2 diet plan, like a kind of easy, ready, like pick things out, pick options out, and you can do that. For the hour walk, can you push a buggy, a bike with a toddler, or should it be done on your own? If you can only do it with a toddler, then that's what you got to do. Are there any macronutrient targets? No, they're not. There are no macronutrient targets. But that's something that you can do yourself. How can I be successful with it being online? That part makes me nervous. The entire program is now online. It's not in person anymore. One of the amazing things about BodySlims is that it's a fully loaded program. So you start off, with your seminar on the first Wednesday, which is up until that Sunday, but I highly recommend watching it as soon as possible so you can get the maximum benefits. But every morning there is a video that goes up at 6 a.m. Irish time that you can watch that will set you up for the day. Then there is a nighttime video as well. You get you will get notifications throughout the day. And I understand that it's not in person, but there is so much content on BodySlims that hopefully it will help to inspire you and to keep you going throughout the 10 weeks and help you to change that behavior so you can continue your life then and never have to lose weight again. That's the beauty of it. That's what we want. A lot of people are asking, do you have to share your information on Instagram, etc.? And absolutely not. You do not have to share anything on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. It's completely up to you. There is no obligation as part of BodySlims to do so. BodySlims isn't on Facebook in terms of the program isn't on Facebook or Instagram. I know that there are people who have created BodySlims specific accounts and they share their journeys, but there is no obligation for you to do the same. And I know there's a lot of people asking, are there any Facebook groups or anything like that? There is no official BodySlims Instagram or Facebook group. I know some people do set up their own WhatsApp groups, their own Instagram groups and things like that, but there is no official BodySlims one. What is the exercise that you have to do every day, and is the meal plan normal food you eat? Again, there is no necessary meal plan. You can eat whatever you want. You can do the 3-for-2 diet if you choose to, especially if it's your first time, but there is no meal plan. It is up to you to decide what you want to eat. And I think that's something that helps as you get into maintenance is to not be so focused on things like sins or points or any of that kind of malarkey. You're focused on real food and in real life situations and focusing on calories rather than made up ways, so you can eat basically whatever you want. I know I've said this so many times, but it's really true. Like, I would eat very different to the way my sister ate on BodySlims, and the freedom to do so is what helped me to be so successful and also helped me to then tweak it for maintenance. So to eat more of it for maintenance. And the exercise that you do is the walk, the 1 hour walk. That's it. What does an average week look like when you're doing the program? Love your channel. Thank you. So an average week is the BodySlims week starts on a Wednesday. You get your seminar, your first weekly seminar. So you will weigh in on a Wednesday. I recommend weighing in the morning before you eat anything. You input that into the app. You watch your seminar every Wednesday. You track your calories on the app and you track your walk, how many miles or kilometers, whatever unit of measurement you do, you track that on the app. You then, every morning when you wake up, you get the 1-minute video from Jared. You get quotes and you get like little tidbits of information throughout the day from him. There's a song of the day to kind of put you in a good mood. And then you continue to track your calories, you track what you've eaten, and you track your walks. And then in the evening, there is the 1-minute video as well. The main thing though is your weekly seminar. That's the kind of the main, that's where the beauty of BodySlims, that's what makes BodySlims different, is that it focuses on not only the diet and exercise, but the main thing that's missing from most other programs that I know of is the mental health aspect, the mind aspect, and how this is the most important part of weight loss. It's not the calories. It's not the walking. It's getting that right, getting your mindset right. And that's what keeps you going into maintenance to keep you for the rest of your life, so you're done, so you don't have to lose weight again. Do I think I've been able to lose weight without BodySlims? I have been on so many plans. Oh, it's a really good question. I think I would have been able to lose weight. However, I wouldn't have been as fast. And I don't think I would have been as successful. I definitely wouldn't have gotten to the size that I am now. I would never have believed that to be possible. I would have stopped at good, which is a big part of BodySlims, is the difference between good and great, and getting to that permanent state of great, getting to your dare to dream goal. I would never have gotten to that if it hadn't been for BodySlims. And I think when you're in that good part, when you don't get to that great, that's when you're at risk of going back to the start place. So I think I would have lost weight, but I definitely would not have been as successful, nor look like this, or got to this, or had this much freedom now, and never have to lose weight again, which is brilliant. I've signed up to start on 20th of September. I'm so worried I'll fail. Will it really change my mindset? First of all, I understand that you are trepidatious about it being the thing that's going to change it all for you. And I understand, because I was that soldier. I was so worried at the start. I literally filmed myself driving to BodySlims when it was in person. And my first thing is, will this be the thing that changes everything for me? The thing I'll say to you is to go in with an open mind. I had also tried so much, but I've said this already in this video, you don't sign up to BodySlims and lose weight. You have to do the work. You have to watch the seminars. You have to engage in the program, because it's designed, every area of it is designed for a reason. It's not there just for the sake of it. It is designed to help to change that mindset that led you to being overweight, or to the weight that you're unhappy with. And if you don't focus on engaging fully with the program, it won't help to change your mindset. It won't help. You can't white knuckle it. Every other program that I've ever done before, I white knuckled it the whole way through. I just was like, I won't eat it. I won't eat the food, and then I'll get to the weight. But BodySlims helps you to focus on what you're going to gain, not what you have to give up. It helps you to change the behavior that got you to that place. And that is such a huge difference between everything else that I tried before. It's focusing on treating yourself with the respect that you deserve, as opposed to punishing yourself. There's so many differences between BodySlims and every other program that I tried. And that's why this one was successful for me, is because it was missing that huge element of helping me to change my mindset away from the negative towards the positive, and what I get to gain from it. Can you drink alcohol in the first few weeks? You can drink alcohol, but alcohol is empty calories. You have to include it in your calorific allowance. And if you note that, that you're not getting any benefit from alcohol, you're not getting a nourishing benefit from alcohol, I, at this point, was like, well, why am I drinking if... why would I drink it? Because I want to eat something, because I need to eat more than I want to drink. Yes, you can, but it still has to be within your calorie allowance, but it's not recommended. Do you weigh your vegetables for your stir fries? Individual, and in salad, I just weigh my meat unless the recipe specifies. I absolutely weigh everything. The only thing that I don't weigh are spices and herbs. Everything else is weighed. Everything. Okay, this one is the big question, is what is the difference between the coaching program and the non-coaching program, etc., etc. And I know it's a little bit confusing. The with coaching program is exactly the same program. Both programs are exactly the same. The only difference is without coaching and with coaching is that with coaching you get one weekly feedback message from one of the BodySlims coaches on your progress. It might be just, well done this week. It might be something to do with a suggestion on changing up something if you're not getting the results that you're looking for. That is the only difference, and it's one message per week. It's not a person that you have constant access to. So that's because the difference in price is very minimal, as you can see. Everything else is exactly the same. Exactly the same. So please don't not go for it because the with coaching is sold out, because you'd be missing out on doing the program, getting it started and getting into it. If you feel that the next time you might like that little extra tiny bit of accountability, it might help. But otherwise, I wouldn't worry about the fact that that's sold out, because it's exactly the same program and nobody gets Jared as their coach. He is the coach for everybody. So there is nobody has Jared as a BodySlims coach, except for the head coach. So you don't get the weekly feedback from him, nor me. I'm not a BodySlims coach. So I know people are worried about that. They'll miss out on something, but you're not missing out on a load without the coaching. What advice would I give people who are starting out first time? The most important thing is that you watch the weekly seminars with your full-blown attention and intention. Let me say that again. Your full-blown attention and intention. No phone in your pocket, and if you're watching the seminars on your phone, turn it onto airplane mode so you're not getting any notifications. This is so important that you watch that seminar, because if you don't do that, you're going to white knuckle it through. You're going to be like just trying to get to the calories and walking and not actually get the crux of BodySlims. Remember, BodySlims is 3 areas. It's the diet, the calories, the exercise, the walking, and the mind. So this is your 3 legs of the stool. That's what's missing from so many other programs. So ensuring that you are getting that, you're watching that seminar with nobody else and no distractions and watching a full-blown burn. You can listen to it as well. You get to listen to it like it's almost like a little podcast version that you can listen to on your walks, but you have to watch it once fully. Watch. And I cannot say that enough. And the second piece of advice is to do everything they tell you to do when they tell you to do it. If you do that and leave your ego, leave everything at the door, and I know it's hard because I've been there myself, I've done it, I understand. If you leave that at the door and just surrender to BodySlims for 10 weeks, it's only 10 weeks. It's only 10 weeks. If you do that, you will be successful. Just do what they say when they say to do it, and you will go for it. A lot of people are asking me, if you actually can't do a full hour walk, what can you do? Can you work up to it? Absolutely. My doctor told me after I injured myself to start at 15 minutes and add time to it as I went on. I added 5 minutes ago. Jared will suggest that, if you do 15 minutes, the next day you do 16. So you're constantly looking for progress at the rate that is comfortable for you, but not giving yourself a sick note either. Not, kind of not going for it because, you're like, oh, well, I'm a bit, if you can, you must. If you absolutely can't, that's okay. If you are in trouble and you need your help, like always get clearance from your GP, your physiotherapist, whomever it is, your doctor, whatever you're going for, to make sure that you're okay to do that. If you have a question about it, not from BodySlims, you need to ask your medical professional for that information, not me. And once they clear you to do it, start off, they'll probably suggest something. They might suggest, like my GP did, 15 minutes and adding to it as you go and building up towards the hour. So I started off with 15 minutes, added 5 minutes on each week until I got up to the hour. And then I did, when I was first walking, it was between 2 and 3 kilometers in an hour. And now I can walk 7 to 7.5 in an hour. So there is ability to progress as you go. I had plantar fasciitis and 2 bulging discs when I started. So I tore the cartilage of my knee as well. Yeah, because I went too fast and did not listen to medical advice. So please do as I say, not as I did. The biggest piece of advice that I can give to returning participants is to continue on as if it is your very, very first, is to do it as if it's your very, very first time. Don't let hubris and arrogance get in the way. A lot of things about hunger or cravings. The kind of practical thing is to drink some water, wait 20 minutes, see how you feel if you still really need something. Make sure you're getting nourishment in your meals, your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Hopefully that will stave off any cravings that you might have. But I understand that cravings can be difficult. But remember, it's a craving. It doesn't control you. You have the power. It might be something that you're missing in your life. might be something that's missing in your surroundings. You know, it might be that it's a feeling that you're trying to fix. Typically a craving, and cravings do exist for things like sugar and things like that. I'd recommend, you know, tea, that kind of thing, like not a diet tea, you know, having like a sweetener in tea or something like that can just take that edge off that need for sugar. That's something I did. I also ate like a square of dark chocolate, and your taste will start to change, and not focusing too much on like sugary things, because you're constantly feeding that beast then of needing more sugar. Does the coach hold you accountable and help with the healing journey? I want to get into September, but the ones with the coaches are fully booked, unfortunately. I want to do it for the inner healing mostly. The coaches, that's not what they're there for. They're not a life coach. They are there just to give feedback on your exercise and your diet input. The work is in the seminars, and that is in watching the seminars. So if you are worried about that and you want the accountability is there, because you still fill in what you're eating and your exercises. Like, you get 5 little ticks every day when you do like the power of 5, like the power of the day thing. It'll all make sense when you're doing it, and you get like ticks when you complete each thing. So there's an accountability level there, but the coach is not there for your inner healing accountability. That's much more on you and watching those seminars. And if you don't watch the seminars, then you don't get that kind of like extra little ticks, so that maybe would hold you accountable for that. The final thing that I'm going to chat about, and there's so many questions about this kind of thing, and it's, what are the calories? Am I going to be hungry? What happens if I'm hungry? And all these kind of questions. And I understand, because I was there. I was a person who was very fearful of hunger. I never allowed myself to be hungry before. There's a couple of things that I want to say around this topic that might help shine some light on BodySlims and why it's successful. We have been taught previously from a lot of those big weight loss companies that weight loss has to be this slow, long, drawn out process, because of course that's how they keep us coming back. They keep us, you know, engaged every week, and you lose a pound, you gain a pound, you lose a pound. And Jared explains all of this in week 1. And this was the thing I think that made me the most angry when I first started BodySlims, not at BodySlims, but at all the other things that I had done previously. I was worried about the calories. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to stick to whatever that they were going to give me. And you're not starving. You're not technically starving yourself on BodySlims. There is no medical starvation with BodySlims. It's not like that at all. And the calories that you get in BodySlims are this is what was mind-blowing to me. It's for a finite amount of time. This is not forever. Weight loss is not supposed to be forever. There are 3 stages of weight loss. There's weight gain, which we all know. There's weight maintenance, and there's weight loss. And weight maintenance and weight loss are 2 things that have been intertwined by the diet industry, by diet culture, by the diet industry, to keep us engaged and spending more and more money. Going to those programs, which I did for so long, was going to something, getting my sin allowance or my point allowance or something like that, and losing 2 pounds and then putting on another 2 pounds another week, and then losing a pound and then putting on. That's weight maintenance. Weight maintenance is keeping you in a range. And yes, there are some people who have amazing success with those programs, but then afterwards they're left in the limbo of life, and, you know, sins and points and all that kind of thing don't really transfer over into our daily lives. What BodySlims does is teach us that weight loss is supposed to be a finite amount of time. It is not forever. So the calories that you're given on BodySlims are for your weight loss stage. They are for 10 weeks. If you want to continue them between cycles of BodySlims, that's up to you. That's your choice until you get to your maintenance, until you get to your Dare to Dream goal. And then you adjust and you get to live your life. I don't count calories anymore. I haven't counted. Like, I might do it occasionally just to kind of keep myself like, okay, is that what I'm eating a day? Is that okay? Is that, you know, but as long as I am in my Dare to Dream weight range, and that's a range, it's not a specific number, it's a range of like between 5 and 10 pounds. As long as I'm in that, I'm not worried. And I've been in that. I think I've slipped out of that once or twice in the year. And then I just adjust for a week and then I'm back to maintenance again. That's what maintenance is. I don't have to count calories anymore. There is a fear because we've been taught that this is what we're going to have to do forever. But that's weight maintenance is forever. Weight loss is only for a small period of time to get the weight off, just to get it off. And BodySlims does work. I'm living proof that it works. My sister's living proof that it works. And every other BodySlims legend that is on the website is living proof that it works. Because we've been sold this idea that we're going to have to be on this. Like when I first heard about BodySlims, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to be on that forever. I'm going to have to do that. That's going to be really stressful. And there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to live my life again. I'm never going to be able to go out for dinner. I'm never going to be able to blah, 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 etc., etc. And it's fear. I understand. I lived that fear. I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this again. But please know that it's not for the rest of your life. When you finish BodySlims, when you get to your Dare to Dream goal, you get to live your life in maintenance. Like I was away in New York and I was eating donuts and bagels and I was enjoying it and I was enjoying my life. And I don't have to worry about food and think about it because I did the time. I did the designated finite amount of time, and it's different for everybody. I did everything that I could in that time to lose the weight, to get to where I wanted to be, to live my life, to be done. And I'm done. There is a perceived pain that we are going to be hungry. I didn't understand what hunger was before I started. What it taught me was that the difference between emotional hunger and physical hunger. And when I was hungry, I ate. And I ate food that helped me to feel nourished, to feel satisfied, not food that was going to help me to want more food and to crave more. If I was hungry and I ate chocolate, it's going to spike my sugar levels and it's going to make me want more chocolate an hour down the road. If I ate porridge with protein in it, that was going to help me to feel satiated and feel better for longer. It's learning about nourishing ourselves and not eating crap and treating our bodies with respect and doing the things and getting to that point. And finishing and getting to your Dare to Dream goal and finishing it off and being done and not having to do this cycle, this thing all the time. And BodySlims is a strategic intervention of actual weight loss for a period of time. It ends. That time ends. And then you can maintain in between the cycle, or you can continue till you get to your Dare to Dream goal, and then it ends. When you get to your Dare to Dream goal, it ends and you don't have to do it anymore. You're done. You continue till you're finished and then you're finished. And that's it. And you can come back maybe once a year just to kind of rejig anything that, just bring it back home again. Sometimes it's good just to refresh your memory. But you're done. You don't have to have this overhaul, this slog forever. It's done. When it's done, it's done. And by nourishing your body really well, it helps to keep you feeling good. But what helps as well is the seminars. This is not about white knuckling it through a lower calorie allowance for 10 weeks or for the rest of your life. This is about learning about why we choose this behavior that brings us to being overweight, and dismantling that behavior and teaching us new habits, new good habits, new things that are going to help us to build belief in ourselves, to understand that we are capable. And that's the seminars align in with the exercise and the diet to help you to do that, to help you to get through the 10 weeks of your strategic weight loss intervention and to change those habits. So when you're finished, when you get to your Dare to Dream goal, you can live your Dare to Dream goal. And that's why I say it is so important to watch the seminars with your full attention and intention. I understand that it can seem scary that, if you're going to be given a lower calorie allowance, that you are going to be starving. If you eat from the right foods and the better foods, you won't be. There was one time that I was genuinely hungry, like starving. And not because you're never actually starving. And it's because I didn't prepare. I didn't think about it. I didn't plan out. I didn't do the things that I needed to do. And yes, I get hungry, but then I can eat because I'm not wasting calories on crap. I have foods that I can reach for, and we go through that. I will say some things in the program. Jared will talk through some things. There are those recipes that come up, but it's not, please don't fear it. I know, and it's a fear of pain. It's a being in pain. But if you do it well, you won't be. And then you can live your life. And the one thing I'll say as well is our lives are short. They're really short, and they will end. That is, sure as everything else in the world will end, we will end. Our lives will end at one point. And I don't want to live. I'm so glad that I went through what I perceived was going to be pain in order to be at this point now where I can live my life to the fullest and not have needing to lose weight take up any real estate in my mind. It doesn't take up any real estate at all. I can now live the best life that I can, the healthiest, the most outgoing, the most confident, the most light-filled life, a life of freedom. I'm not enclosed in 23 stone of shame and overwhelm and feeling awful anymore because I did this strategic intervention. That was challenging. It challenged me, but also challenge gives us an opportunity to learn about ourselves and to change who we are. I heard this amazing thing this morning about, so say a challenge is, a fire breaks out and somebody screams. The response is that somebody screams, that somebody runs around the place panicking, and that somebody tries to find a way to get out. And that's what BodySlims is. It's going to be a challenge. And you can either scream your way through it or panic, or you can find a way to make it work for you. It's not a fire. It's a bit of an extreme example. But it's a way to really help. It is a strategic intervention. And yes, while it will be challenging, it's getting through those challenges that will help you to come out the other side to be a strong person that doesn't need to lose weight anymore. It will help you. It'll mold you. It'll help you to evolve, to grow as a person, and to grow into your adult self, to grow into thinking a bit more clearly. It helped me in so many ways. And that's the way I want to live the rest of my life. I don't want to waste any more of my life. Guys, I think this video is nearly an hour long, so I'm going to end this here. I hope that this has helped answer any questions that you guys have had. I know I answered tons and tons and tons of questions here, and I know this is a long one, and I appreciate that it's been a slog, but I hope it's helped you guys. I want to reiterate that, BodySlims isn't this magic wand that's going to cure you. It is hard work, but you are worth the work. In the great words of April Lauren, you are worth doing this for yourself, and it is a roadmap that will help you to get there. If you follow the map, you will get that road, and you will follow that road through to get to your Dare to Dream goal, and that you'll never have to lose weight again. That's what I have to say. Thank you so much for watching the video to the end. Please leave me a rose as a poppy. We have roses, a red flower emoji, or just tell me your experience with BodySlims, and hopefully it will be something that's beneficial to you as it has been to me and to thousands of other people. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it with somebody that you think it might help. And yeah, don't forget to show up for yourself, guys. I love you and leave you.